All right. So the final step in this process is to identify our needs. And one of my favorite definitions for needs is life energy in me seeking fulfillment. So there's this part of me that's wanting some acknowledgement. And before we made a list of strategies and we identified needs. And here's a list, which I hope will be helpful. So like physical needs like air, water, and shelter, autonomy, expression, creativity, to be seen, and interpersonal needs for community, belonging, and inclusion, and transcendent needs, meaning, purpose, love, contribution. It occurred to me that it might be helpful for you to have a list of feelings and needs. And why isn't that showing up for me? Jeffrey, do you happen to have this stored anywhere that you could share it with the group?
It looks fine. What you're sharing looks fine.
Okay. I will find you all a feelings and needs list because it's helpful in doing this kind of work. Oh, here's one. Okay, so I'm sending you a feelings and needs list through the chat.
Sorry, I misunderstood you, James.
If you aren't able to read that, I will make it available in an email later. All right. So those are our needs. So this process I got from Mary McKenzie. He's one of the trainers that I really admire. I love, and I've done actually one-on-one coaching with her as well as some of her group workshops. And the invitation is to rewrite your judgment with the form, I love it when, and then you insert your needs and values. So the first step of the process is for you to identify your needs and values behind your judgment. So Jeffrey, can we go back to you and have you share first of all, what needs were up for you?
I guess I would say my need to be heard. Yeah. And something about consideration,
Yeah.
Respected, consideration.
Yeah, I was definitely hearing consideration in your judgment earlier. Can you share with us what your judgment was? Do you remember what that was?
That he was being inconsiderate.
Yeah. This guy's being totally inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you're noticing your need for consideration. So could you reframe your judgment in terms of, I love it when, and insert something that works for you?
I love it when my friends are considerate and respectful of me.
I love it when my friends are considerate and respectful of me. Thank you.
And something about being heard, listening. I love it when my friends are willing to listen to me.
Yeah. And so the invitation for this process is to find that one need that has the most energy and to define one sentence. I love it when my friends are considerate.
Okay.
I love it when my friends are considerate. So I'm going to give you all 1 minute to create that sentence for yourself, because you're going to have an experience. I'm inviting you to have an experience about this. So you have a minute to write down your sentence. I love it when.
because of the downloading and all that, I missed the way to plug in the sentence. Or I guess I got a
Yeah,
little bit
I love it
confused.
when, so you take your judgment, and
Okay,
love it
so I
when
love it when,
my friends consider, basically you put the needs and values in there.
okay, so I love it when my friends are considerate. So this is an evaluation that my friends were being inconsiderate. I guess I'm still a little bit hazy.
All right, you're going back to evaluations. So I'm inviting you to be present with this new experience. And this brand new experience that I'm inviting you to try on is to start with your judgment and to reframe your judgment in terms of your needs.
Thank you. Perfect. Get you now.
Okay. Does anyone need help in reframing your judgment into an "I love it when" statement? Raise your hand if you are having a challenge.
Can I try and see if I am understanding?
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
So in Jeffrey's example of feeling unheard, he might say, well, you are ignoring me or whatever, and that's more of a negative connotation.
That's the judgment.
And so to reframe that, he would say something like, I love it when I feel heard, as he was saying, or listened to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it when, and his reframe was, I love it when my needs are considered.
Okay.
I love it when I'm heard. So the process has you distilling down your judgment into the most basic need that you're trying to meet. For Jeffrey, it was consideration. And
okay.
And so for, and pick one and go for it. Thanks, Sean. Was that helpful?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. I see 2 questions. I see 3 questions, and I wonder 4 questions. And I would like to invite you to have an experience first, and then let's get into it. All right. So let's go ahead and have the experience. Because I notice, at least for me, I start to go into my head and try and understand it all. So let's go back to the reframing. So I love it when, and you're invited to play that reframe over and over in your mind for 30 seconds. So I love it when my friends consider. I love it when I'm heard. I love it when my friends are considering my needs. I love it when my friends are considering my needs. You repeat that over and over again. All right. So notice as you're repeating this restatement, reframing of your judgment, I'd love to hear from 1 or 2 people that just did this process of repeating their needs, their reframed judgments in their head, and how you're feeling now. So I'd love to hear from 1 or 2 people. So Sarah, are you able to share how you're feeling now after repeating this reframe?
Sure. I love when I'm heard.
You love it when you're heard. And how are you feeling?
I feel good when I'm heard. I mean, I have a question though. Like,
Could we hold the question until we harvest a little bit on the process?
Sure.
Thank you, Sarah. And again, I'm looking for people to share about their experience that they just had. Tina, go ahead.
I love it when I can express myself openly.
Hmm. And how did you feel as you were repeating that over and over to yourself? How did you feel?
Sad that I didn't have it in that moment.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and so noticing that you have sadness when you think about that moment in the past. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for sharing, Tina. And I'm seeing, let's see, who's next? So Christy, are you sharing about your experience? Your
Yeah, I would like to, if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I had a little trouble with this because I actually made two statements. One of them is, I love it when my husband shows me patience, compassion, and acceptance.
All right.
And then I kind of flipped it and I wrote, I love it when I feel accepted as I am.
Great. Did you repeat that one over and over again?
Did you?
Thank you, Christy. So it sounds like you had a
The
couple
last one?
Yeah.
I love,
Looks like we're having problem with your audio. I see that Lisa's hand is up and then Abby.
Well, my statement was, I love it when people consider my needs. And my experience of that was it felt really happy and I felt powerful. And I also felt like it's a bonus when people consider my needs.
Mhm.
Whereas when I made the negative statement, I felt entitled and kind of like I was sulking, like, well, no one considered my needs. It's not fair, you know. And now I was like, well, I just love it when people do this. And that just feels really good to me to say it that way. And I can't expect it, but if they do, it's great, you know, it's like that. So it just felt very positive to me.
Yeah. So I heard that you felt empowered, and you described it as a positive feelings. And then I saw you go into meta-analysis of your experience and how negative when you went back in time and you talked about the other one, and then you came back and talked about how positive this experience was. So thank you, Lisa, for sharing your experience. So Abby, and then Alex.
Cool.
Abby,
I also
you have
wrote
the floor.
down several, but I'll just share two. First, I wrote down, I love it when my partner is honest and authentic with me. And then I love it when I know what to expect.
Yeah. So which one did you repeat over and over again?
The first one, I love it when my partner is authentic and honest. Open.
Thank you. Yeah. And how do you feel after repeating that one?
Bad, because I feel that's obvious, and I don't always think of it that way.
Okay. Are you open to a little coaching and suggestion?
You bet.
Yeah. So the invitation of the reframe is to leave the people out of it. So I love it when my needs are considered. So leave the person that you're attaching this need to, because the person is a strategy that's not the need. And this process is about connecting with your needs.
That helps a lot. I then was thinking, oh, I'm evaluating my own judgment as being
Yeah.
bad or good, you know, so.
And so now you're going back into the judgment. So you're.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. That helps a lot. Thank you.
Sharing, Abby.
Yeah.
So I see that there are a couple more hands up. I would like to share a couple of slides and then pause the process and then open it up for questions. So unless there are strong objections to that, I'm going to go ahead and do that.